You're still watching Ways. In many parts of the world, freedom is something that is taken for granted. The freedom to choose any religion we want or no religion at all. The freedom to be in a relationship with the person we love. The freedom to travel. The list goes on and on. Unfortunately, there are many, many places in the world where these freedoms are not available to most people who are forced to live empty, unfulfilling lives, so the rulers of their countries don't have them thrown in jail or worse, maybe put to death or something. So if you don't know what it means to be afraid to voice your opinion, then you can consider yourself very lucky to live in a place where liberty is a priority as well as a basic human right. And like all good things, liberty should be celebrated. And that's what World Freedom Day is all about. So talking about freedom, ladies.
Happy Freedom Day.
Yes, happy World Freedom Day.
Are we truly free?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that question.
Yes, we're free. Yeah. Do you feel like you're in any restraint or restrictions as to your personal rights to leave?
As I am like this, I want to just go naked. Am I free to do that?
That one is not.
There's no such thing as true freedom. Like really. If you look at it. Is there?
Yes,
maybe we should make that a topic, right?
Yeah, I think people will
I guess it depends for you on what you define. There are people who live their lives day to day, and even in their homes they don't feel free because they are in abusive relationships, and some people don't feel free because of the kind of jobs that they're in. I think it's just a state of mind.
That job that requires secrecy.
You can't just round the clock. I mean, there's so many things about it. So I think free for me is just a state of mind. So whether you feel free, whether you're living your best life, whether you're choosing to see it glass half empty versus glass half full. Or sorry, you're choosing to see glass half full versus glass half empty. So freedom is many things, and I think that in certain things we have the illusion of freedom in this country, but we're
truly not free.
Yeah,
we're not.
But I'll leave it there.
Norma?
Okay, everyone's eyes on me. Well, freedom is what it is. Being able to have the right to do certain things and choosing whether or not to do it. So, I believe that it is something that we have access to an extent, and then in some places we are restricted on our freedom. I think freedom is about consideration, right? If I know that I want to do something, but I choose not to do it because I think of how it's going to affect somebody, that's my choice, right? So it depends on how you see it or from what side of the coin you see it. For me, you can express, but you can also choose whether or not you want to express because you have considered how your expression is going to affect other people.
Okay, makes sense. All right, so who we started with, Uti? Let me come to you. What did you find first in the news today?
Okay, I'm going to hope that my phone doesn't go off because it's just about to. So my headline reads IGR, which is internally generated revenue. Lagos leads as FCT beats Rivers, Kano, 33 others. No surprise here. The 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, generated 849 billion as internal generated revenue in 2021 compared to 2020. So it's a 13.21% jump from 2020, where the earnings were 612 billion. I would assume from the comparison they're giving, it's the year to date, because it speaks that this money's come from Q1 398 billion and Q2 450 billion. And these come in 5 categories. So there's payee, there is road taxes, there was a couple of other things my phone has now.
Oh, okay.
But the thing for me was that it was having the highest come from payee, and then road taxes were the third highest. I can't remember what the second thing is. And for me, with road taxes, I think to myself, given how much we rely on roads,
revenues from ministries, departments,
MDAs were second.
Yes,
Thank
MDAs,
you. Yeah. And then road taxes were third. And my thought process was, we rely on the roads for everything. So when I think about all the controversy that we've had around the Lekki toll and the different tolls, It takes money to run these things. It takes money to keep infrastructure running. And when we start to see where the majority of this income comes from, and we compare the fact that pay is highest, but we still have huge unemployment rates. So that shows you that there's a huge gap there in the kind of money we could be earning if unemployment was reduced, and then take into account what we could also be doing on our roads that would give us a better experience and better infrastructure. So I found it interesting, but I don't think that in the top earners there were any surprises with Lagos being number one and Southwest being top region, and I think Northeast, so where Lagos was generating, I think it was over nearly 100 billion or something like that. The Northeast only had 4 billion, and so make of that what you will.
Quickly, no, my fun.
All right, my story is about the federal government debunking the rumor of the third mainland bridge opening up and shaking. Well, we know about the rumors that have been going around or making the rounds that the bridge literally is about to collapse. But Boade Akinola, spokesperson of the Federal Ministry of Works, countered the claim via a statement released today and said that Olukayode Popola, who is the federal controller of works in Lagos, drove on the bridge without noticing any shaking, and claimed on social media. So I guess people are trying to put stories together.
It's actually interesting. We saw the video, and I mean, it was Uti that brought it to our attention that video has been
making the rounds.
And that video is 2 years old, So yesterday when I didn't even see the video yesterday. It was just a forwarded message. And I spoke to the special advisor to the Minister for Works, and he said, I mean, the same thing you said, that the controller of works had just driven past the bridge. That's Olukayode, I think Popola, that's his name. He had just driven on that bridge, and there was no such thing as, the opening. So I don't know why they're bringing up this propaganda.
I think it's
actually very interesting because they did a major work. They shut down that bridge for 6 months. So it is actually, I mean, it's sometimes some things are unnecessary, right?
Well, I think basically with the fears of houses falling or collapsing, people are becoming concerned. People are becoming
But that does not mean you just bring up a story from nowhere.
Well, I guess the federal government
people just have the responsibility of just validating news.
Yeah.
It's not just about forwarding things. I mean, I was saying before the show that video is you can clearly see that it's a Channels TV video. So if you even took 10, 15 minutes to search on Channels YouTube page, you would see that it was an old video. And it's something that circulates all the time. And I mean, I love the angle you came from where you talked about, people's mindset and things collapsing, so people feeling. But even at the time when I remember this video came out, people were saying we're shaking. You're not going to feel a bridge like Third Mainland shaking. First of all, there's broom, which is what the expansion joints are for, to allow for the movement of the water, to allow for the so all of these things are built into the science of it. But we also have that
the Nigeria factor,
like you were saying, exactly, that the government have a responsibility.
The government has a responsibility to help people, to just basically, I mean,
well, thankfully they have come out immediately to respond to it. So, which is, let's just please, I mean, we don't have time to be dwelling on.
We really don't want such situations.
I'm telling you.
My news is from Punch, and it talks about Nigeria, Cuba to partner on vaccine production, biotechnology development. This was said by the Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonaya Ono, during he received the ambassador to Nigeria, the Cuban ambassador to Nigeria, in his office in Abuja on Monday. So the minister said that Nigeria and Cuba would join forces for biotechnology development and the production of vaccine and other medicines. This was contained in a press statement titled Nigeria, Cuba to deepen ties on STI development distribution on Monday by a member of the ministry's press and PR team, Otuyemi Adetayo. The statement read, the Minister of Science and Technology Innovation, Dr. Ogbonaya Ono, has said that Nigeria and the Republic of Cuba will strengthen cooperation in the area of biotechnology development. It added, Ono said, that the relationship between both countries will include research in vaccine production, medicine production, and development of biotechnological material. added that the collaboration will be a mutually beneficial one. I really am I took that news because before now, I do not think I've heard in the news any recent discussion and deliberation around COVID-19. Have been in the public spaces. I've seen how Nigerians carry on as usual, and I'm wondering, are we in pandemic? It's really a worrisome question for me, because the way I am a market woman, put it lightly. I get to go to the market, I get to go to public places, and I see how Nigerians, I wear my mask when I go out, you know, sometimes when there's a lot of crowd, you know, when you're doing something and people look at you crazy, like, what are you going on about? Like, aside from the fact that I wear a mask, when I get into a crowded space, I want to step out because I feel claustrophobic. You know, and I see people carry on very nonchalantly. And I begin to wonder, was that a news, or were we ever going through a pandemic, or did COVID-19 actually ever hit us in this country?
Okay.
Really, that's
we leave it at that. So my story is actually quite interesting. I would love to find out more what's happening. So, you know, EFCC had done a frenzy, you know, they launched a whistleblower app, you know, and when they launched that whistleblower app, of course, a lot of people went and they downloaded. So now the story goes, this whistleblower app stalls at 15%, 15,000 downloads, and critics are alleging data theft. It says almost 4 months after the whistleblower app was inaugurated by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission with fanfare. Of course, the mobile app application has recorded only 15,000 downloads. So some users are also alleged that the app exposed their information. And findings by the Punch indicates that the app had 10,000 total downloads at an average of 1,173 downloads per month on Android operating system, where it also got an average of 3.6 as rating. The total download figure was not available on the iOS, but checks show that the application recorded about 1,222 monthly downloads, which translates to about 5,000 downloads since it was released on the platform. So this is actually interesting, because this is supposed to be an app that would be used to fight corruption, where people can just go and report certain kinds of things. So hopefully we want to know what's happening, why it's stalling. I mean, for 200 million people, I'm sure that 15,000 is just nothing. You know, I just thought to mention that. All right, we'll take a break now. I want to discuss spirituality matters. Stay with us for a minute.